one of the genres that he's writing in.
All right.
Welcome, Frank.
Hey, Frank, thanks for stopping by, but we're going to go right into the podcast launch. And how do you think of this? We shot this stuff last year, Frank, and we really had some interesting interviews with Western authors, didn't we? And learn their
Yeah.
secrets.
Yes, and it's fascinating what the Western genre is like. It goes from one end, your gunfighters and what have you, all the way up to mountain men. They're all considered Westerns. And we interviewed a lot of very, very interesting people that had some unique takes
Yeah. And
on the
from other countries, everything, learning about the illustration and all those different things. And now we're looking for more Western authors because we used to be affiliated with the organization. We don't care. We'll put it out there for that. But right now, Holloman Publishing is publishing Frank's Western author novels, and he is focused on helping more Western authors get marketing help, get the possibilities out there in their brand and opportunities and all those things. And that's the important part about having authors share ideas, isn't it, Frank?
Yes, that becomes very valuable on how they're doing their marketing and what kind of resources that we can introduce them to, and teach and show them what marketing is about. It's just you just can't throw your book out there on Amazon and expect it to be sold. You've got to do some work, and I don't care if you're working with a small publisher like me working with you guys. Or a major publisher, they don't do any work at all.
Now, the major publishers don't. They go the old school route. So this is another thing we need to teach is if you are an indie author, you better follow the blueprint before when your book comes out that the major publishers do. Get a book tour. Contact Barnes and Nobles all over the place. Invest your money to show up at those places because the more pre-sales of your book, the more book sales, especially with Barnes and Noble and going out and getting out there, the more success your book is going to have. Paul and I were talking in the green room about this, Paul, that we have seen once authors release a book, it really gets pushed out there. But it seems like after about 3 months, Amazon's like, forget it. We're not pushing it anymore. It's up to you. And you're not going to get as much of the algorithm push anymore.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's crazy because you're thinking you're on a track, it's constant, and you got to figure out the next thing. So, like Frank was doing it with his book for Moran, you had a great Goodreads giveaway and how many people were interested in your giveaway of your old book of Moran?
Yeah, we got a very good response, and we got a good. We're going to find out. Just it's still running, and when we get done, then we're going to choose the 100 winners out of the almost 2,000 people that were interested in it, and it gives me a chance to market some of my other books also because I created a flyer, or we might say an oversized bookmark. I put in each one of those books. So not only do they get them ran, but they get to see all the other books that I have, or some of the books that I have. And so you always got to look for that cross marketing. And anytime you get a chance to get into the face of somebody that's interested in your books, then you should, market to them. Don't just sit back and just relax.
That's what my agency is starting to provide influencer marketing on my social media platforms. Don't think just because you don't get likes that people don't see your stuff. That's the other falsehood. Okay. That's why I've decided to go to my personal Facebook because I could care less. You go to my YouTube channel, it's killing it with views. 9.8 thousand views from my interview with Linda McMahon, some of my reels. Wow. So some of my shorts, 9.8K. So I don't need to get that social proof as much as I want to get this out there. I'm sure people know one of my great sponsors, Feeling Yourself, which is a great sun tanning lotion developed by one of Darnell Dinkins, former Super Bowl champion. But we're just post content, put it out there. And then, you know what? I'm also going to be big about links because I'd rather have 20 visits to a website than 20 likes, because 20 visits to a website means 20 people potentially are going to buy your product. And then when you get to 100 and you get to 1,000, it'd be really interesting for you guys to research. If you look at a tweet and see it gets 20,000 retweets, how many of those people really aren't their customers at all? It's not. You want your customers to go get it. And that's why going to a Goodreads, going to a BookBub, getting those ongoing reviews, follow the playbook the professional publishers do, Frank. And that's what we'll be starting more and more in our conversation as we used AI in the green room as well today, right?
Yeah, well, AI can be very, very, very useful in marketing your book. You could use it to help you phrase your marketing message, which I have done, and it also give you ideas of what resources may be out there. Right. In fact, we had a discussion right before the podcast about giving away your a free book, and Goodreads already has a mechanism that's set up for that. Plus, there were two or three other places where you could use your free book, maybe promoting your first book and saying, and then run a contest and get the second book free. Then when it comes out, sure, you may only give away 50 free books or 25 free books or something, but you may get 1,000 or two people interested in it, and there you go. You got yourself a mailing list that you could.
Right, exactly, and that's why it's slow and steady does the race too, Frank. Because you think about this, and this is one thing that we'll be highlighting on Western Author Podcast, asking authors, as Frank always asks, how are you marketing your book? What are you doing to market your book? What are you doing? At the end of the day, if you're not doing those things, you're never going to get sales. And if you are doing the things and you're getting the results but not sales, you have to really rethink your market, your product. You have to really rethink those things. Okay. And let me give you an example, Frank. A lot of people get lots of likes on social media posts, but they have nothing to do with their product.
Yeah.
Who cares? Okay. And like I said, look, I posted Linda McMahon interview of portions of and get 9.6K. Well, I'm getting 130 views, 300 views about my thoughts on marketing. Should I be upset I'm only getting 300 views? I'm not as relevant. It's what's in the news. Linda McMahon was talking about Trump and the election. This is the hot button issues. Not always you want to get to ride your train with these hot button issues, but they're the ones that go viral. Isn't that true, Frank? So that's where you have to look at not a huge amount of people, but the right people go to your book site. You build the right followers that are interested in your books, and you just put it out there. Have you saw that in some of your books, especially your best-selling author for that Dummies marketing book, that some books hit really well and others just don't? And you don't know it when you're about to release it, do you?
Well, the Dummies books works because you got a brand that people already know, and they're looking for Dummies books. Okay, so and they see it, the brand is already established, and that's what's so important about the brand. You shouldn't be just worried about thinking about selling your book, or building a book. Now you should be building a brand. Now, how do you go about building a brand? Okay, well, that's important. People are buying not your one book, but they're buying their author, and they want to know what's to follow. And that's not easy to do, but that's what I've been trying to do with my books. I write westerns, and we're marketing westerns right now. I'm a multi-genre author, and so I push not only that westerns, but I try to get people to understand that, hey, it's a one-stop shop. I cover all kinds of issues, from science fiction.
You should have books for all those things, and you're selling them in bookstores locally. You're a local celebrity author. That's the thing that people have to understand is whenever the biggest thing, some people who sell their books out of their trunks. If you're out there every day, the problem is authors don't want to be, but if you're out there every day, you should have books in your trunk. You should use them as business cards sometimes, and other times, hey, I got a book here. It's $20. Give it to me. That's what you got to do to be out there. You constantly have to be promoting. You constantly have to be going. And that has to do with the sales cycle as a business as well, not just all the other things. Marketing's one thing, sales is the other, conversions are the other, and it doesn't happen overnight. So frankfiore.com, the Western Author Spotlight podcast will be on frankfiore.com next week. Appreciate it, Frank. Thanks again. And Paul Hollis, author.com and the HoloMan And for me, the big mouth, the media giant, it's out there every day. Just go to neilhaley.com, schedule a call with me today. Honestly, you will wish you did, because there's so many people out there that promise you the moon, the stars, and the sun. And ultimately, they're just trying to make their next meal. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.